It's Monday, November 24th.
We managed to keep extremely sensitive points on the table, including the full release of all Ukrainian prisoners of war.
Peace plan to end the war in Ukraine is still in the works, with U.S. and Ukrainian negotiators drawing up a new framework agreeing to work together.
Canada has quite an actual strong commercial relationship with India. Collectively.
Prime Minister Mark Carney leaves the G20 summit with a potential new trade partnership with India and an invitation early next year. Up goes the way of the Montreal Caravan. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Happy Monday. How was your weekend, Daryl?
It was good. It was warm. It was nice out there.
Yeah.
But that's not going to stick around for very long.
Well, temperatures are getting cold by the end of the 7-day forecast. Enjoy the next few days. It's not looking so bad. Just a little bit of snow down towards the south today.
Give it a minute, I guess. We'll get to your forecast in a minute. A lot to get to in news this morning on this beautiful Monday. Top U.S. and Ukrainian officials say they're making progress toward ending the Russia-Ukraine war.
So we're working through making some changes, some adjustments, in the hopes of furthering narrowing the differences and getting closer to something that both Ukraine and obviously the United States are very comfortable with.
Delegations from both sides met in Switzerland to talk about the 28-point peace plan. Some European allies had feared the deal was too favorable to Moscow, which is something Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has echoed. He says Ukraine is working closely with the U.S. and other European partners to define the steps toward ending the war, but there are still issues to work out. G7 security and interior ministers met in Ottawa this weekend, but as Canada joined the fight against international crime, it faced criticism over its policing efforts here at home.
The reality is that we're not getting convictions with our huge mega cases. And that is, as I indicated earlier, for a number of reasons related to the criminal justice system as a whole, disclosure and so forth.
A 2022 report found British Columbia was home to an enormous volume of money laundering, and experts say it extends across the country. This year, policing bodies in Ontario, BC, and the RCMP have all highlighted staffing shortages. While most other G7 nations have dedicated strategy to combat organized crime, Canada does not, something the public safety minister says he will reflect on.
We believe the systems are operational and are ready to go. I will be sharing our next steps on the program as we roll out throughout the country. But it is significant to say that we will be rolling the program out across Canada.
And Public Safety Minister has made another announcement over the weekend on the federal government's contentious gun buyback program. After a pilot project in Nova Scotia, a nationwide rollout has now been confirmed. The government launched its pilot program in Cape Breton earlier this fall, and the results of that early rollout have not been released. There's also no word yet on when the national rollout is expected to begin. Western Canada's largest livestock show gets underway today. Canadian Western Agribition returns to the Real District in Regina. A lot of preparation yesterday. It'll start with the burning of the brand a little later on this morning. The show is anchored by beef cattle and features an array of livestock along with the latest equipment. We are live there all morning long. The first spot about 6:40 this morning with Janelle Lippi. Stay tuned for that. Delegates gathered in Saskatoon over the weekend for the Métis Nation Fall Legislative Assembly. Jeremy Dodge is in the fine city of Saskatoon. We turn things over to him.
Thank you, Daryl. Good morning. It was Saturday morning that got started with a grand entry at Prairieland Park. And that was followed by President Glenn McCallum's State of the Nation address. He highlighted major progress in housing, early learning, health supports, and economic growth, reinforced by a new independent report recently released. He's encouraged to see membership in the organization balloon to nearly 40,000 compared to only 2,000 when he took over in 2017. President McCallum says these are promising times for Métis Nation.
that we are successful. We have businesses, we have programs, and with reconciliation, it's in the hands of the feds in the province to be able to give the right capacity, but it's on our shoulders to be able to do the job that needs to be done to be able to excite them.
McCallum stresses that in the coming years, the Métis Nation will continue to emphasize getting young people involved so they can keep building towards the future. And a special pre-Christmas celebration hit the streets with Rocking Around Riversdale as local artists, businesses, and residents came together for a day of live entertainment and street-side celebration.
Merry Christmas! Ho, 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 ho! Thanks for coming by, everyone! Ho, ho, ho!
Crowds filled 20th Street and surrounding areas Saturday with families taking in the festivities, including Santa and characters from Frozen. Organizers say the event is all about showcasing the diversity and creativity that make up the historic area while supporting small businesses as the holiday season wraps up.
The community gave me back a huge resounding yes, and so they're just starving for this kind of action. And so, yeah, people have been wanting to donate, participate. That's why we've got so many businesses and artists involved, and we're really excited to kind of be bringing in the retail aspect as well as like local businesses, kind of all of that community as well as art, all in one day, and like everyone.
Organizers call this one of the biggest festivals yet. All right, Daryl, a big weekend for U Sports.
Yeah, the Vanier Cup happened at Mosaic Stadium on Saturday. Didn't go the way Saskatchewan would have liked to. The University of Saskatchewan Huskies falling to the Montreal Carabins by a score of 30-16. A tough loss for the Huskies, who fell in this game 3 times in the last 5 years.
We wanted nothing more than to bring that trophy back to that guy. Fortunately, we're gonna be coming empty-handed, but we're bringing a lot of love to him. So
I've got time to reflect on the season yet. It still stings right now, so not feeling great, but proud of the guys nonetheless. We fought, we battled hard, and yeah, thinking of A's obviously right now. Man, wish we could have done it for him, but man, I love that guy. Thinking of him.
Organizing committee already calling this a success. The resurgence of Saskatchewan's film industry is creating opportunities for aspiring actors. This weekend, several stars of tomorrow showcased their talent for industry leaders. Wayne Mantika was there.
As much as he loves her, was capable of loving anyone.
It was an evening for Saskatchewan actors to be discovered.
Message tonight is anyone can do it. I mean, we have people that have just started out a few months ago. We've had people that have been in the industry for over 15 years.
Actors hoping to land roles in future films performed before an audience that included film producers seeking talent.
Through auditions, you also discover new people, and I know that we had a few people that really surprised me, and I've never heard of this person or seen this person, and then they're perfect for the roles.
The actors have been developing skills through classes and coaching at Regina's Bar S Studios.
There are a ton of talented people here, and people don't need to move to Toronto or Vancouver. They can start a career right here. We always say that a career in Saskatchewan film and television is not just possible, it's probable.
Among those assessing the talent was veteran Regina film producer Kevin DeWalt.
You need good actors to make good movies, and events like this is an opportunity to see the kind of young talent, and hopefully there'll be some stars that come out of it.
The return of government incentives is driving demand for homegrown talent. These actors hope to be among the stars who play a role in rebuilding Saskatchewan's film industry. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
And the master of ceremonies was our very own Kayleen Sawatsky. A beautiful event.
I was actually one of the judges, and it was so much fun, but I have to tell you, it was one of the hardest things that I've ever done because everyone was so talented there that evening. So big congrats to everybody who had the guts to get up on stage. Did not look easy.
That's not an easy task. What's going on in the weather today?
All right, well, we do have a snowfall warning in effect for some parts of the province this morning, just down towards the south. I'm going to show you that on our radar in just a moment. We're going to start right now, though, with this morning view. Over top top of the city of Regina, we're not really going to be seeing the sun up this morning until about 8:30, so we still have some time yet. -4 right now to wake us up. We do have some clouds up in the sky and some very low winds to start the day. Winds are going to be remaining fairly low all throughout the day today, really all across the province. -10 though to wake us up in Saskatoon. Again, a few clouds and again, very low winds. This is what we're looking forward to later on though. This is the radar on satellite showing that snowfall warning in effect for areas down towards the south. Now, it's not technically in effect for the southeast quarter around Estevan, but we are expecting to see some more of those flurries there later on. So let's take a look at when you can expect that. This is current right now, about 6 a.m. on your screen, but then we see this snow moving in for later on in the morning. It's going to start around 8:30, and then throughout the afternoon, we're really going to see that moving over slowly, and then right along Estevan there into those evening hours. So if you are traveling down towards the very southern part of the province today, be careful, be warned that you are going to be running into some snow. And then as we head into tomorrow, we're not going to be seeing any more of that precipitation, really. That's going to be exiting the province later on this evening. Current temperatures now, we're seeing Spiritwood at -10, -6 to wake us up in Nipawin, -5 in South End, and -6 down in Hudson Bay, -10 for the Battlefords, -10 in Saskatoon, -4 in Regina, and -2 to wake us up in Estevan. Later on this afternoon, we're seeing some highs that are right around the seasonal average, let's say. We're not seeing them too far above like we were seeing for the past few weeks. Battleford's reaching -3 this afternoon, Saskatoon only -2. Weyburn, 2 degrees with that snowfall. Estevan, 2 degrees. Again, going to be seeing that snowfall a little bit later on into the late afternoon and evening hours. Now the 7-day forecast, or the almanac rather, coming up and showing us that, again, we're slightly above the average today, just not by very much. Last year, -9.2 in Regina and -12.7 for Saskatoon. 10.9 was the record back in the year 1997 and 8.9 in 1962 for Saskatoon. You do see the temperatures start to go down, though, as we look forward to our 7-day forecast. By Sunday, seeing them down to -16. So it's going to be chilly. The colder weather is on the way. In Saskatoon, we're seeing temperatures, again, go down as we look towards this 7-day forecast. By Sunday, -15.
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, affects 10% of kids in the U.S. Because children with ADHD can have a hard time in school and getting along with their classmates, many are being screened and diagnosed as preschoolers to see if they might benefit from early support. But researchers writing in the journal JAMA Open Network say many kids might be getting medication too soon. The study revealed that 42% of children with ADHD were started on medications less than a month after being diagnosed, often before being given a chance to try other interventions. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that when kids aged 4 to 5 years old are diagnosed with ADHD, parents are trained in behavior management first before trying medications. While medications may help kids focus, they can also cause side effects like sleep problems, weight loss, and irritability. If you're concerned that your child might have ADHD and would like a diagnosis, talk to your pediatrician early. With this Medical Minute, I'm Rena Roy.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
With Christmas just right around the corner, Mistletoe Magic returned for a 3rd year in a row at the RCMP Heritage Center. Among activities were a scavenger hunt, Christmas movies, as well as a visit from Mr. and Mrs. Claus. The Christmas spirit will look to continue with the holiday just a few days away from being a month away. Of course, the biggest draw of the day was Mr. and Mrs. Claus, who seem to be making appearances around the city. Santa is surprised by Regina's weather this November.
I'm usually someone who doesn't put my own tree up until well into December. However, what I have seen is we host this event around this time every year, and there is no lack of people who are ready to start celebrating.
Like, what happened to all the snow? I got to the airport. I had to leave the reindeer at the airport and then grab an Uber because I can't use the sleigh when there's no snow, right?
Mr. and Mrs. Claus say that the popular Christmas gifts this year are Legos and Labubus.
Yeah, that makes sense. You want lots of Labubu. You went. Was it a great event?
I was here with my daughter, and she got to go up and meet Santa and Mrs. Claus.
Good.
Just lovely people. Really liked the Grinch. They had the old-time Grinch, the cartoon one, up on the screen, and she was just, well, it was her first time in a movie theater, too, so the screen was so big, and she was like...
Eyes got big, and
yeah.
I love you a lot. That's good. We're talking about a TV show that we'd like to see rebooted because producer Nathan decided this is what we should talk about today.
Yeah, all right. Do you have any answers, Jeremy?
Yeah, I always go back to 2003. There was a show. It only ran for one season. It was called John Doe. It starred Dominic Purcell, about a guy who washed up on the shore in Seattle and didn't know who he was or where he came from, but he knew everything else. So while he tried to unravel the mystery of who he was, he helped the police solve crimes.
Wow.
And it was great. And it ended the first season on a huge cliffhanger, and then it was done again.
You know what I'm going to say.
I know exactly what she's going to say.
What am I going to say?
Pan Am.
Yes, I am. You know me.
Which is just a bad show.
It was so good. It was so good. They only got one season. They were robbed. I've been talking about this for years.
I laugh about this because CTV threw all kinds of marketing money at it, and it just went...
It was so good.
Text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan the QR code on your screen. We'll take a look at Regina. Pan Am. Keely,
it was
get out
so
of here.
good.
Get out of here.
Hello, Jermaine Franklin here inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday, and it comes from the Hurricanes and Sabres. Pick it up in the second period. Beck Malenstein pulls off, that is a ridiculous move, before beating Frederick Anderson for the spectacular goal. The Sabres fourth liner going deep in his bag on this play. Malenstein is a fifth-round pick from back in 2016, and this was only his second goal of the season, but that will help them stay with the Sabres, that's for sure. That's their fourth win in the last 5 games. Tonight on TSN, it's Panthers-Niners on Monday Night Football. Carolina looking to win 4 straight on the road for the first time since 2015. Kickoff goes 8:15 Eastern. That's all from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
Don't look now, but we are exactly 1 month away from Christmas Eve, and that means the holiday season is upon us. And this morning, our Mike Siona is out making sure we know how to stay safe. Mike.
Well, there's no place like home for the holidays, but there are problems that can arise, and we're talking about safety, specifically when it comes to first aid over the holidays with Lyle Karasek here at Parkland Ambulance. What kind of things do we have to be prepared for should they arise?
Well, Mike, thanks very much for joining us. You're right. Holidays are that time of year when we've got lots of guests. We've got toddlers running around the house, maybe a new baby, maybe, you know, your favorite uncle is there, an aunt. So we need to be prepared. And so it's a little bit of sort of common sense tips. Like, you know, if you're serving food, keep food cold, keep hot food hot. Simple things. Clean up after the party. There's nothing worse than the kids who get up really early in the morning and there's food left. But learning basic first aid tips, like what to do if someone's choking, how do you do CPR, those sort of things are really good tips that we can all learn and use every day.
No doubt about it. Now, obviously, you can get first aid certification and run through the gamut, but there are little things that everybody can kind of focus on. And this morning, as we continue, we're going to have a peek at a couple of things you can do.
Absolutely. We're going to learn how to do compression-only CPR. We're going to do what to do if somebody's choking. And we'll just sort of maybe run through a few basic common sense tips that all of us could benefit from.
Perfect. There you go. Lyle Karasek here in Prince Albert at Parkland Ambulance. And, well, he just told you what we're going to talk about as the morning continues.
Let's take a look at this school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. -4 to head out the door in Regina, -10 in Saskatoon by lunchtime, 0 degrees in Regina, -3 in Saskatoon, and by final bell, both cities at their expected daytime highs. For Regina, that is 1 degree with some cloud cover, and for Saskatoon, a little bit more sunshine there, and the high of -2 with low winds all afternoon long. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common common price this morning, 130.9. The lowest you might find is 105.9. In Saskatoon, the common price, 123.9. The lowest you might find is 113.9. Over to the farm markets now. The street price of canola as we wake up is at $579.52 per ton, and the futures price at $644.40 per ton. Amber Durum wheat starting the day at $285.94 per ton, and Red Spring wheat at $250.60 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading up, currently at 71.92 cents U.S. Your morning returns in 3 minutes. Stay with us.
Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. It is 6:29. Prime Minister Mark Carney is returning to Canada this morning after taking big steps towards more trade with India at the G20 summit in South Africa.
Does your government view India as a reliable trading partner?
In terms of trade, yes, we do, actually. You can be both a reliable trading partner and there will be some sources of friction.
Canada and India have agreed to a comprehensive economic partnership, one the Prime Minister says could double trade to $70 billion. This is a significant thaw in relations between the two countries after allegations of involvement in criminal activity on Canadian soil. It's an accusation India denies. According to the PMO, Carney has also accepted an invitation to visit India early next year. The Prime Minister says he's in no rush to resume trade talks after they were halted over anti-tariff ads with the U.S. last month.
He accepted the apology when I spoke to him, and we've had discussions. I've been busy. There's another point, though. I've been busy. We passed a budget with that's going to catalyze $1 trillion of investment.
Carney says he and the U.S. president have been busy, but talks will resume when appropriate. The Prime Minister says he expects to speak with Trump sometime in the next 2 weeks, but is ready for when the Americans want to return to the table. Carney made the remarks when speaking to reporters in Johannesburg for the G20 Leaders Summit, which Trump did not attend. Dozens of concerned farmers and citizens rolled into the Legislative Building in Regina on Saturday to show their support for the Universal Ostrich Farm in Edgewood, BC. On November 6th and 7th, over 300 ostriches were euthanized by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, nearly 1 year after the first positive test for highly pathologic avian influenza, easy for me to say. The event was live streamed by the Ostrich Farm and left many people with feelings of distress across Canada.
After what happened on November 6th and seeing the slaughter the next day and everything that was done and the RCMP and how hard they pushed against the people, I just couldn't stay silent, and I felt like I had to speak up. If a flu goes...
Organizers say that there are plans for support rallies to continue in locations across the province in the months to come. Conservation officials in BC are boosting their efforts to track down a mother bear and 2 cubs just days after the group of elementary students and their teachers were attacked.
The teacher that was helped the kids, he was so brave, he jumped on top of the bear and fought it with his bare hands.
Traps, snares, and trail cameras were being set up around the Bella Coola area, about 420 kilometers north of Vancouver, after the attack on Thursday. 3 students and a teacher were taken to hospital after a bear attacked a group of about 20 people, including grade 4 and 5 students. There's a recall to let you know about this morning on drinkable yogurt. Many of the Yoplait yogurts are being pulled from the shelves over fears of pieces of plastic in some products. Yoplait Canada says it's proactively issuing the recall after discovering a defect in a packaging component. The recall includes all flavors of 200 milliliter drinkable yogurts with best before dates from October 21st to January 12th. Do you know how much germs are right at your fingertips? Many of us don't, which is why a team of grad students wanted to share their knowledge for the World Antimicrobial Awareness Week. Several U of R students set up at various stations across the Saskatchewan Science Centre in Regina to make learning fun while bringing attention to an important topic. With DNA sampling stations, microscopes, and more, they were able to share the research with students of all ages.
This entire week, there is activities across the world highlighting antimicrobial awareness and resistance in general. It's some event that we also held last year, and it's just to try to expand and get more people aware of antimicrobial resistance, and then we'll continue to build on this event each year.
A team of students say they plan to continue their research into the future, sharing their findings in a fun way. A holiday craft market was put on by the Saskatchewan Deaf and Hard of Hearing Services. It got underway at Market Mall in Saskatoon yesterday. Baked goods, local honey, hand-sewn gifts, ornaments, and jewelry, just some of the things you could find at the tables. It's only the second year for the market after a stop in Regina last week. Organizers say it's a chance for the deaf and hard of hearing creators to share their work and connect with you.
Just naturally, you kind of pick it up a little bit here and there. Might say like, what's the cost, or thank you, things like that. Merry Christmas. So it's just a good opportunity to meet and interact with the deaf and hard of hearing people.
For me, it's so inspiring to see deaf and hard of hearing and deaf-blind individuals involved with marketing their wares. We also have people who are involved and they're not deaf or hard of hearing, but they are our allies.
2 quilts made by deaf Saskatchewan seniors are also being raffled off, and you can see one of them is stitched with hand signs. Very cool. Let's get our attention over to the Weather Center and those snowfall warnings in the southwest.
Yeah, right around the U.S. border, that's where we're going to be seeing the most of that snow falling later on. I'm going to show you that on our radar and satellite in just a moment here. First of all, just taking a live look over top of these cities right now. Saskatoon at -10, Regina at -4, so a little bit cooler through the central zones right now. In Saskatoon, we're not really going to be seeing the sun coming up until about 8:40 this morning, so enjoy the calm right now. In Regina, seeing that sunrise around 8:32 later on. Let's take a look at this radar and satellite now. So we do have those snowfall warnings in effect right down around the U.S. border there. Areas even more south than Swift Current there could be seeing about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. Estevan, although we don't officially have that snowfall warning in effect, you are going to be getting less of that snow, but you are going to be seeing some flurries later on into the afternoon and into the evening hours. Let's take a look now at the futurecast and see how this is going to move through. So it does enter the province a little bit later on this morning, just past 8 a.m. And then we're going to start seeing those flurries tracking eastward and right over top of Estevan. This is at about 8:30 p.m. So Estevan could be seeing more of the cloud cover for the early afternoon and then the flurries later on into the evening hours. Now, as we make our way overnight, we do see that system tracking south, disappearing into the United States. And then we're going to be seeing some clear conditions for areas around Swift Current, a few clouds for Saskatoon and Regina. And then as we continue on into Wednesday, we'll see that cloud cover increasing ever so slightly. Today's wind gusts, though, going to remain low right along that area down towards the south where we are going to be seeing the snow falling. We do see the wind gusts could be increasing up to about 30 to 35 kilometers per hour. Other than that, though, all the major cities really today going to be seeing some very low winds. Let's turn our attention now to the current temperatures. We're seeing Spiritwood at -10 right now, -7 for Melfort, -6 in Hudson Bay, and -6 in Nipawin. Down towards the south, not so bad. We're seeing Estevan and Weyburn at -2 right now, -3 in East End, -2 in Swift Current, and -2 to wake us up in Kindersley. Today's forecast, though, in the afternoon, Swift Current peaking around 0 degrees with that snowfall, 1 degree for Moose Jaw, and 2 degrees for Weyburn and Estevan, 2 degrees for Yorkton, with just a little bit more of that sunshine, and -3 for Prince Albert. 5-day forecast showing that temperatures aren't so bad until Friday. It's actually into the weekend that we start to see those temperatures really go down, so enjoy this work week. In Saskatoon, we're seeing more of the same, -2 today, -4 tomorrow, -8 on Wednesday, -8 on Thursday, and then -10 for Friday. So we do dip into those minus double-digit temps, but it is, again, going to be getting colder for your weekend.
Beautifully mild this fall so far. Some of us are getting the itch to go out ice fishing, like our next guest, Jason Manadee. Talk more about the comfort and style with which you need to be once that eventually gets here. What's going on? What do you got in front of you here?
Well, you know, I got a lot of stuff, got a lot of baggage. A lot of people have talked about that before. So we're going to talk about fishing, but also ice camping and the evolution of all these tents and the comfort that you can fish in. It's not just sitting there at -30 freezing like this anymore. You got heaters, you got insulated floors, you got electric augers, and
and disclaimer, there's no good place to go right now.
No, and thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, it's getting closer. Obviously, when we have minuses for highs, that's going to help solidify things, but we're not ready yet. We're just getting all prepared by talking about this stuff.
Well, the one thing we couldn't bring into studio was a fishing tent, so let's show some video of that on our screen, and you can walk us through that.
Absolutely. So, as I say, the evolution of winter camping, this is what we're seeing now. This is the biggest of the big. This particular model, the 850 XTP, which is new this year. It's got these cool doors that you can slide things in and out. Normally, you had to step over things, so it was kind of a tripping hazard in some cases, but you got these big doors on both ends. You've got like 11 square meters of fishing space, which is a ton of room inside. You've got this cool port system that you're seeing here where you can bring your propane hose in, so you're keeping it out of the snow and everything else. And you can also put like bigger heaters in with all these portholes and keep everything nice and clean and elevated. And yeah, it's just become super comfortable these days. I mean, look at the room. You can see Jeff and I there. We could have a conference inside, probably with the entire staff of the morning show. Yeah. And we'd all be nice and warm in there. And
instead of grass or you would be ice, you could have a different kind of flooring, right?
Yeah, and I wanted to emphasize for those of you going, why are you ice fishing in a park on the grass? Well, it's because, as we said, things aren't frozen yet. Yep. And you can also have this insulated flooring that a lot of people have in their basement, and you wouldn't believe how a tiny layer like that can just keep everything warmer in that tank.
And you need the hole to fish.
Absolutely, and of course we always bring our trusty, this has been on the market for a few years, the E40 model, which is quiet and super light, like we're talking 14-ish pounds or less. And we have our tent, and this is the thing I add too, so you don't run out of propane. You can add like a regular propane tank, and then you got heat all day, and you're not messing around with those little 1-pound cylinders, which are fine if it's like -5, but if it's like 20,
if it's like Saskatchewan cold.
Yeah, exactly. You need to have, especially for a bigger space like that tent, you need to have more heating
and this
ability.
is keeping us warm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. What are we fishing for once we finally get the go-ahead here?
Yeah, well, everything's, we actually made a few casts on the weekend still, and there's still some pike and some walleyes quite shallow from shore, so they're going to be available as soon as the ice goes on. But once it's solid enough to walk on, that's how people generally get started. Everything's up for grabs. So we're talking pike, walleye, cisco, whitefish, perch especially is another one that people are really going to want to get into.
I know you got a lot of tips on your website. Shout that out.
Absolutely. Getfishing.ca is our website, and that'll take you to your YouTube channel, and you'll see the tent we had. We'll have a fuller breakdown there on our YouTube channel that you can get to via getfishing.ca.
Thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
See you next time.
It'll be interesting to see what happens on the markets in the coming days with a short week south of the border. American Thanksgiving is on Thursday. There was a ton of volatility last week. Both the TSX and U.S. markets did close higher Friday. The head of the U.S. Federal Reserve says he's looking at another possible rate cut in December. Prime Minister Mark Carney is back in the country after looking for more trade partners. Carney announced Sunday that the federal government and South Africa agreed to launch discussions for an investment protection pact. And Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand says Canada will also get into full negotiations with India for a comprehensive trade deal. And a new survey has found that artificial intelligence will likely become another helper for Santa this holiday season. A survey commissioned by Shopify polled 18,000 consumers and 7,500 business leaders and found that 64% will use AI for at least one shopping task. People aged 18 to 24 years old, a whopping 84% will make use of that technology. Those are your morning business headlines for BNN Bloomberg. I'm Matt Scooby.
Today marks the start of the 54th annual Canadian Western Agribition. Janelle Lapai is on the grounds this morning to let us know what folks can look forward to. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. That's right. Some very exciting days today and coming up, and I've got CEO Sean Kindop with me to tell us a little bit about what we can expect. Now, Sean, what does today look like for you guys?
Today's great. Like, even just standing here, we've got our Canadian National 4-H and Youth Judging Competition here going to be happening right behind us at 8 a.m. 10 o'clock, our doors open with free admission courtesy of CN. So that's all day. Families and people from, around Saskatchewan and Canada can come in and enjoy Agribition at no charge and be the first to look look at our over 430 trade show exhibitors, our livestock. There's so much happening today. We've worked really hard, and we're excited to welcome the world to Regina.
Amazing. Well, hard work definitely pays off. Now, today is free admission day. What are you hoping to see from that?
Again, for us, just seeing the hallways full is, it's something we're very proud of, and we get energized off the people coming through the gates. We get to welcome our international visitors from over 60 countries. Just any exhibitions about bringing people together and creating memories, and we're ready to start today.
Amazing. All right, and so today is that free admission. However, moving forward, how can people get in contact with a little bit more information and grab those tickets?
Yeah, I would make sure to visit exhibition.com. But when you're buying your tickets, especially for the rodeo, make sure that you're going through Ticketmaster, as we don't want people to get scammed, as there are scams out there at the moment. But Saturday's already sold out. We've never sold out that fast before, so Friday's really moving. So just again, if people are looking to go to the rodeo, highly recommend getting your tickets now, as we want people to be able to come and experience the high energy rodeo at exhibition.
Fantastic, Sean. Thank you so much for being here and for having us down. We're going to be back very shortly in the next hour. We've got more excitement to show you, even some bison coming up, which I'm, of course, very excited for. So we'll be right back.
All right. Thanks, Janelle. There's a few days of the year that I really miss being out on location, and this is one of them. Go pet a cow for me. All right, it's time for our Monday morning weather or not. Here's a question. In this photo, what is it that we're looking at? It's usually found on flowing bodies of water like creeks and rivers as temperatures start to drop and freezing begins. Is it A, river froth? Is it B, frozen air bubbles? C, river runoff? Or D, pancake ice? What do you guys think?
Jeremy, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure it's I think this might be D. Pancake ice.
I'm going to go D.
Yeah.
You are both correct. The answer is D, pancake ice. It starts with frazzle ice. It's a slushy mixture with water. As it begins to freeze, the process is disrupted by the fast flowing of river water. Large sheets can't easily form like on still water lakes. Falling temperatures, though, they cause the frazzle ice to freeze into plates with raised slushy edges caused by repeated collisions with other frozen plates. And this results in pancake ice. You just need a little syrup with it.
Yummy.
Neat.
It's November 24th, and we have some birthdays to celebrate. We'll start off with a belated birthday wish going out to Darlene, who celebrated her special day over the weekend. We hope you have a very special year ahead. All the love from your 4 daughters and Granny. More belated birthday wishes going out to Lori, who marked her 65th birthday on the 22nd. We hope you had an amazing day with your family. And happy birthday wishes also going out to Vern for his 65th birthday. Also, we hope this was a great one with lots of love from all of your friends and family. Happy 13th birthday going out to Weston. Welcome to teenagehood. We hope you have an awesome day and an awesome year ahead with love from your friends and family. And finally, a twin birthday to mark today. Happy birthday to Jackson and Ryder on their 10th birthday today. Your family says they love you so much and they hope you have the best day. Enjoy. If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please remember, send those in at least one day in advance.
Just how many comments are on the video of Brandon Hall singing, scream singing, power ballading Creed in your lunchroom? Are there?
Oh, there's a lot. Actually, I listened to it again this morning, too. It's just, it brings a smile to your face. It warms your heart. If Creed sees it, they are 100% going to bring him on stage, too. That's just, it has to happen.
Yeah, it does have to happen, especially with the arm swing thing he had going on. I don't even know. What's going on the radio today?
There's some moves. I don't know if we call them moves. There's something going on in that for sure. Today, it seems like I've missed so much. The Country Thunder lineup announcement announcement. You know, Grey Cups were won, parades were had while I was gone for this week. Well, back, I'm happy that we get to give away that trip to Mexico end of the week, but we want to make sure you are qualified, could get you off for boots on the beach. And in January, you're flying out to Mexico with us to Mazatlan. Dean Brody there too. And we'll call out some names coming up at 7 o'clock this morning. So just 8 minutes out. Make sure you're entered, purecountry927.ca. We'll call out 2 names, and if you're the quickest to call in that allotted 10 minutes, you're qualified, and you could be getting the winning phone call on Friday.
You're a giver, Chase. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Daryl. See you next hour.
We have a plan. It's a bit insane.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
No idea, but I think we should find out.
Netflix has unveiled the official trailer for Season 5, Volume 1 of Stranger Things. The action begins a year and a half after the end of Season 4, as the entire gang gathers to fight the final battle. Volume 1 debuts Wednesday, followed by Volume 2 on December 25th, and the series finale on December 31st.
What do you think of football players doing a rap song and the line dance?
I didn't come here looking for trouble. I just came to do the Super Bowl show. What the heck have we gotten ourselves into?
Here's a blast from the past. The Shuffle looks at how the 1985 Chicago Bears recorded the Super Bowl Shuffle before they'd even made it to the big game. The documentary shuffles onto HBO Max Tuesday. Strutting for fun in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, this very special dog celebrated their birthday in style. The deaf dog, the 9-year-old pit bull, works as a therapy dog for anxious students at a school in New Jersey, and the school decided to show their thanks by throwing him a surprise birthday party. What a hard-working pup.
Oh, he's even got a throne.
Looks thrilled.
Yeah. Does look extremely happy. The holidays are rapidly approaching, as we know, which means Canada's holiday train is rolling across the country. And how's this for a performance? Holiday train rolled into Windsor, Ontario, featuring performances by Smash Mouth, Canadian rocker J.J. Wild as well. Smash Mouth's new singer sounds okay. Hey, Jeremy, it's never going to be the same, but okay.
Nah, he's doing a respectable job.
Yeah, it's just,
he can sell some tickets.
It's going to be what it is.
Someone's got to do it, right?
Exactly. We got time for this, Corey? Okay, Jeremy, take it away.
Okay, a hack for for travelers. Make sure you're checking the weather before you head out hiking.
Zero visibility. Zero visibility.
Yeah, this couple did not check when the best time to do this hike, so they didn't get the view they hoped for, but they walked 6 miles and 1,600 feet up instead of seeing the most beautiful lake in Switzerland. All they saw was fog.
I like
but they got their steps in.
The AI closed captioning took visibility and made it visibility.
Yeah, I'm trying to read that too. Trying, not totally succeeding.
Visibility. Oh my goodness, it's clear skies out there this morning. Fill up your coffee cup. We're going to reset. We got your weather, your news coming up in just a moment. It's Monday, November 24th.
We managed to keep extremely sensitive points on the table, including the full release of all Ukrainian prisoners of war.
A peace plan to end the war in Ukraine is still in the works, with U.S. and Ukrainian negotiators drawing up a new framework this morning.
Canada has quite an actual strong commercial relationship with India. Collectively.
Prime Minister Mark Carney leaves the G20 with a new potential trading partner. And the Montreal Caravans knock off the U of S Huskies to win the Vanier Cup. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Happy Monday.
Got a picture to show you right off the top, Kayleen. North Battleford unveiled a new mural this weekend. It's in memory of Colby Cave, who was a captain of the Slip Current Broncos, made it to the NHL before he died far too soon. Harley Sinclair is the artist. She's from here in Regina. Nice tribute to a great young man who played for the Bruins and the Oilers.
Beautiful mural there. Wow. I can't imagine the time that would have taken.
Apparently got a great turnout out there. Everybody that came out to support it was really a big deal. So we'll see if we can't get that artist on a little bit later on in the week.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to news. We'll get to your weather forecast in just a minute. We start with the latest on the war in Ukraine. Nearly 4 years after Russia's invasion, Ukrainian and European officials met in Geneva to discuss peace. However, critics argue the plan is too lenient on Russia. Nicole D'Antonio reports.
This morning, new details on the high-stakes meeting between U.S. and Ukrainian officials in Geneva as talks resume today on a proposed peace deal to end the Russia-Ukraine war.
We've made substantial progress today. It was the best day we have had in our entire 10 months of working on these issues.
The comments follow talks in Geneva with Ukrainian officials aimed at revising a 28-point peace plan offered by the U.S., a plan that would have handed over more Ukrainian territory to Russia and slashed its military in half. The deal would also require Ukraine to promise it will never join NATO, but it would provide some sort of U.S. military-backed security guarantee for Ukraine. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle criticizing the plan.
I would not advise Ukraine to sign this.
That plan, that's Putin's plan. That is a very good deal for Russia. It is a horrible deal for Ukraine.
Trump administration officials are pushing back against critics, with the State Department insisting it was based on input from both sides.
We'd like to get the peace.
The president had reportedly threatened to cut off all U.S. military support and intelligence sharing unless Ukraine agreed to a deal by Thursday. But Secretary Rubio is now downplaying that deadline. Ukrainian President Zelensky saying on Sunday, Ukraine has never wanted this war and we will never be an obstacle to peace. Over the weekend, more deadly attacks between Ukrainian and Russian forces. A U.S. official says there are plans to hold a separate meeting with a Russian delegation. No details were provided about the location of that proposed meeting. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
G7 security and interior ministers met in Ottawa this weekend, but as Canada joined the fight against international crime, it faced criticism over its policing efforts here at home.
The reality is that we're not getting convictions with our huge mega cases. And that is, as I indicated earlier, for a number of reasons related to the criminal justice system as a whole, disclosure and so forth.
The 2022 report found British Columbia was home to an enormous volume of money laundering, and experts say it extends right across the country. This year, policing bodies in Ontario, BC, and the RCMP have all highlighted staffing shortages, while most other G7 nations have a dedicated strategy to combat organized crime. Canada does not, something the public safety minister says he will reflect on. The government has also unveiled plans for a new financial crimes agency and has promised to hire an additional 1,000 RCMP officers.
We believe the systems are operational and are ready to go. I will be sharing our next steps on the program as we roll out throughout the country, but it is significant to say that we will be rolling the program out across Canada.
And the public safety minister made another announcement this weekend on the federal government's contentious gun buyback program. After a pilot project in Nova Scotia, a nationwide rollout has now been confirmed. The government launched its pilot program in Cape Breton earlier this fall, and the results of that early rollout have not yet been released. There's also no word on when the national rollout is expected to start. Western Canada's largest livestock show gets underway today. Canadian Western Agribition returns to the Real District in Regina, as you heard earlier on the show, and we'll hear again. It'll start with the burning of the brand a little later this morning. That show is, of course, anchored by beef cattle and features an array of livestock along with the latest in equipment. We are live all morning there. You can check out Janelle's comments a little bit later on in the show. Jamaica is still reeling from the catastrophic effects of Hurricane Melissa and now dealing with a deadly outbreak that has killed 6 people. The Caribbean nation has now declared an outbreak of bacterial disease known as leptospirosis, easy for me to say on a Monday, on the island, which officials say has stagnant water left by the storm, which slammed into the Caribbean island on October 28th and created a breeding ground for disease. Canada has committed millions of dollars in aid to Caribbean nations, including Jamaica, impacted by the hurricane. Delegates gathered in Saskatoon this weekend for the Métis Nation Fall Legislative Assembly. As we say good morning this morning to Jeremy Dodge. Hello.
Good morning, Daryl. Hello. Saturday morning. It started with the grand entry at Prairieland Park. And it was followed by President Glenn McCallum's State of the Nation address. He highlighted major progress in housing, early learning, health supports, and economic growth, reinforced by a new independent report recently released. Now, he's encouraged to see membership in the organization balloon to nearly 40,000 compared to only 2,000 when he took over in 2017. President McCallum says these are promising times for Métis Nation.
That we are successful. We have businesses, we have programs, and with reconciliation, it's in the hands of the feds in the province to be able to give the right capacity, but it's on our shoulders to be able to do the job that needs to be done. To be able to excite them.
McCallum stresses that in the coming years, Métis Nation will continue to emphasize getting young people involved so they can keep building towards the future. And there was a special pre-Christmas celebration on the streets Saturday with Rocking Around Riversdale. Local artists, businesses, and residents come together for a day of live entertainment and streetside celebration.
Merry Christmas! Ho, 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 ho! Thanks for coming by, everyone!
Crowds filled 20th Street and surrounding area Saturday with families taking in the festivities. Santa, characters from Frozen stopped by. Organizers say the event's all about showcasing the diversity and creativity that make up this historic area while supporting small businesses as the holiday season ramps up.
The community gave me back a huge resounding yes, and so they're just starving for this kind of action. And so, yeah, people have been wanting to donate, participate. That's why we've got so many businesses and artists involved, and we're really excited to kind of be bringing in the retail aspect as well as like local businesses, kind of all of that community as well as art, all in one day.
Organizers call this festival one of the biggest yet. All right, Daryl, it was a big weekend for youth sports.
Yeah, the Montreal Caravan won the Vanier Cup on Saturday at Mosaic Stadium. Pepe Gonzalez passed for 344 yards and 3 touchdowns as Montreal beat the U of S Huskies 30-16 at Mosaic Stadium. The Huskies have lost the game 3 times in the last 5 years.
We wanted nothing more than to bring that trophy back to that guy. Unfortunately, we're gonna be coming empty-handed, but we're bringing a lot of love to him. So
I've got time to reflect on the season yet. It still stings right now, so not feeling great, but proud of the guys nonetheless. We fought, we battled hard, and yeah, thinking of A's obviously right now. Man, wish we could have done it for him. But man, I love that guy. Thinking of him.
The Caravan win marks the 3rd straight national championship for a Quebec-based program. Laval won in both 2022 and 2024. There's certainly no crying in baseball, with 20 Canadians set to take the field next spring as part of the inaugural season of the Women's Pro Baseball League. Here's Garrett Berry.
With the 14th overall pick in the Women's Pro Baseball League draft,
3 Canadian pitchers were among the league's top picks when the 4 Women's Pro Baseball League teams claimed their first ever players in the league's first ever draft.
Pretty cool that I can say my daughter's a professional baseball player.
Among them, St. John's-born Jada Lee. She was the first woman to pitch in the Canada Summer Games, and now the youngest pitcher picked in the first round of this WPBL draft. A full circle moment for her mom, Amanda, who remembers Jada being brave enough to say she wanted to play professional baseball when she was just 13.
Any girl who wants to play in the major league, stand up. Now I'll get emotional. And she jumped up, and of course you're like, oh, that's so cute. Like, you know, oh, it's nice to dream that, but you don't ever think it's going to happen. And now it's happened.
This new league will start play next August at a ballpark in Springfield, Illinois. It was co-founded by Keith Stein, CEO of the Toronto Maple Leafs, of the Inter-County Baseball League.
Ali Schroeder.
The Canadian influence doesn't stop there. 20 Canadian women in total, many of the current or former national team players, are among this league's initial draft class.
You'd have to think that instead of, maybe 150 or 200 really skilled women across Canada, that pool now will be 2,000 in 30 years or 40 years, right?
The salaries in the league are modest, at least in the first year, just $6,000 per player on average. But for Lee's father, it's a step towards growing the women's game, which he says is in dire need of places to play and goals to reach for. Garrett Berry, CTV News, St. John's.
Last week, I got to be a part of the exciting announcement for Country Thunder's lineup. Kayleen, this week, you get to give away some tickets.
That's right. It's a good day. So Riley Green, Lainey Wilson, and Creed headline Country Thunder Saskatchewan in 2026. We want you to be a part of that excitement. Enter on our website for a chance to win a pair of general admission weekend passes. Don't text, don't email. Visit our website. That's how you enter to win. Let's turn our attention back now to this weather picture here. Still dark out there. Regina not going to be seeing that sun until about 8:30. Saskatoon about 8:40. So just enjoy the calm right now, and it really is calm. -4. We're not really seeing those winds too strong this morning. We're not really going to be seeing those increasing all too much into the afternoon either. Some clouds though to wake us up in the sky. -10, so definitely cooler through the central zones and through the northern zones right now. And again, Saskatoon seeing some clouds with some calm winds. What we are talking about this morning is that radar and satellite that's showing that we do have a snowfall warning in effect. We don't have that winter storm watch, but we do have it up on our radar just as the possibility that it could pop up. Right now, though, just the snow warning. Futurecast showing that we are going to be seeing that enter the province way down in the southwest corner just in a little bit here, likely in about an hour's time. And then we're going to be seeing that tracking east right along the U.S. border throughout the afternoon and into those evening hours. Estevan going to be seeing some of those flurries later on, likely starting in the evening hours, but just be prepared for that to happen and be careful out there on those roads. We could be seeing up to about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow, again, right down by that U.S. border today. Now, let's take a look at this almanac. Today's high in Regina, 1 degree. For Saskatoon, -2. You can see that that is above the seasonal average for both cities, just not by a whole lot. The average in Regina is -3.2 and -4.7 for Saskatoon. Last year, Regina reached -9.2 in the afternoon, and Saskatoon peaked at -12.7. The record back in the year 1997 for Regina was 10.9 degrees on this day, and back in 1962, it was 8.9 for Saskatoon. Today's forecast, again, showing warmer temperatures down towards the south. In the central zones, Battleford's peaking at -3 today with that mix of sun and cloud. -3 for Prince Albert and -2 for Saskatoon. Down towards the south, though, we're seeing that high of 0 degrees for Swift Current with those flurries, 2 degrees for Weyburn, and 3 degrees for Estevan. 7-day forecast showing that we don't have a whole lot more in terms of the snowfall on the way, but we are seeing the temperatures going down as we look towards the weekend. Saturday down to -12 and Sunday down to -16 with the wind chill making it feel even colder. In Saskatoon, again, more of the same, cooler temperatures as we make our way towards the weekend. Saturday -14 expected with that mix of sun and cloud. A little bit more sunshine on Sunday. -15 though, and again, wind chill making it feel colder. Time now for a look at our rural forecast. This afternoon, we're going to be seeing a mix of sun and cloud throughout many parts of the north and the central zones. -2 for Watrous, 1 degree for Hudson Bay, and 0 degrees for Kindersley. Also expecting just a little bit of those flurries there. Mainly seeing that snow way down towards the south this afternoon, though. So Easton Cypress with those flurries, -2. 0 degrees expected for Rockland, 2 degrees for Coronach, and 3 degrees for Carlisle. Clouds throughout the afternoon, but some of those flurries likely throughout the evening hours. Let's take a look at Blaine Lake now, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. -1 is where we'll be peaking this afternoon, mainly sunny and very calm winds only coming in up to about 20 kilometers per hour.
The holidays are supposed to be a time for joy, but that doesn't mean they're exempt from potential problems. Mike Siona is in Prince Albert this morning to make sure we're ready for anything. Mike.
Well, we're talking about first aid, and specifically as we head towards the holidays here with Lyle Karasik at Parkland Ambulance. And we've got our crash test dummies, I'm calling them here. Although
do.
They're very wise, but they are unresponsive. And if we find ourselves in a situation where we might need to do CPR, anybody can really do it in a moment, right?
Oh, absolutely, Mike. We were talking off air exactly about that. Some of the traditions or things we learned 20, 30 years ago, about landmarking and walking our fingers up the chest and all those things that maybe we stored in our mind as memory muscle are good ideas, but really what we want people to do is recognize an emergency, first of all. So we've got our plastic little crash test dummies, we're calling them this morning, and we want to make sure that that person cannot be woken up. So tap, yell, if we know them by name, call them out. If they're not moving, if you put your ear down and you sort of do this, listen to them, and they don't appear to be breathing, we need to get help. So if this is, let's say, your basement rec room, yell, maybe somebody's upstairs. If it's out in the garage, if it's at a large public gathering, yell, somebody likely is going to come and help. We need to get help coming, so that is to activate the 911 system or the emergency system in your area and get someone to get an AED. Take one hand on top of the other hand, find the center of their chest, and all we're going to do simply is push down and up and down and up and up.
And
this doll makes
force.
You want to push down in an adult about 1.5 to 2 inches, so you're 4 to 5 centimeters. This doll is going to make a clicking noise. So, Mike, if it was you, we know you're not going to be making any clicking noises.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure we're pushing down and fast, and pretty good rate to get some good compressions going.
There you go. Fantastic. Okay, well, there's a 2-minute crash course in CPR. When we come back, we'll talk about choking and some of the other stuff that we can do over the holidays should the need arise.
Talking broken records this morning, a Superman comic book has just become the most expensive in the entire world. This copy of Superman #1 made comic book history, shattering the record for any comic book, selling for, get this, $9.12 million.
Ooh, some pocket change.
Yeah, the comic book was recently discovered hidden away in an attic in California, as all expensive things seem to be. It was authenticated and graded at a CGC 9, which means nothing to me, but everything to these guys, which is the sole highest for the issue.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Somebody bought it, forgot they had it, up in the attic.
So I actually took a class in university all about comic books.
Okay.
It was an English course, actually, and some of these go for insane amounts of money.
As evidenced here.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
It's loosely based on Jeremy Dodge. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I could see
Superman.
it.
Look at the hair and the chiseled jawline.
I see the resemblance.
Yeah,
You're not fooling us.
Yeah, there it is.
I got to get that curl coming down in front here.
See, instead of glasses, it's just the curl. That's how he disguised.
Next Halloween, oh, I see this happening.
Man of Steel. Question of the day: what's a TV show that maybe you'd like to see rebooted? Maybe it is one of the Superman Lois or something like that back in the day.
Hasn't come up on the text line yet. We have just a few answers so far. Number 1, we had I Love Lucy, obviously a classic.
Yeah, hard to do that.
Yeah. Corner Gas, beloved in Saskatchewan. I'm surprised we're not getting more love for Corner Gas, actually. And then Karen saying, I would love to see The Nanny get a reboot. So some good answers to start us off. We want to hear some more, though. So text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, of course, or scan that QR code on your screen. I'm hopefully going to be sharing some more answers if you text me in about 1 hour.
Hello, Jermaine Franklin here inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday, and it comes from the Hurricanes and Sabres. Pick it up in the second period. Beck Malenstein pulls off, that is a ridiculous move, before beating Frederick Anderson for the spectacular goal. The Sabres fourth liner going deep in his bag on this play. Malenstein is a 5th-round pick from back in 2016, and this was only his second goal of the season, but that will help them stay with the Sabres, that's for sure. That's their 4th win in the last 5 games. Tonight on TSN, it's Panthers-Niners on Monday Night Football. Carolina looking to win 4 straight on the road for the first time since 2015. Kickoff goes 8:15 Eastern. That's all from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
favorite segment and producer Nathan's least favorite because he says they're all too easy. It's a morning mystery. We've got 3 clues lined up. We'll try to guess what this is. Today it is a thing. The first clue is the first one was invented in 1817 and named Dandy Horse.
Okay.
In the early 1860s, pedals were added and the bone shaker was born. Okay, and the first portable version was patented in 1887. Okay,
I am blanking completely.
Part of me wants to guess Hot Wheels just based on bone shaker.
Right.
I think I might be embarrassing myself here.
Okay,
but
well, let's find out. On the count of 3.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, flip.
Aren't those bikes called the penny farthing bikes?
Oh, the bike.
I saw the picture in the background.
It is that's what I went with. There's a picture in the background.
Oh, okay.
It is a bicycle. Today, more than 100 million are produced in the world each year, and today is World Bicycle Day.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw that, the one with the front wheel being really big. I saw that one.
I would give that to you. That's a breed of bike. I will not, unfortunately, accept Superman's question mark.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zones safe. It's a chilly start to the day out there. Saskatchewan, -10 to wake us up in Saskatoon. -4, though, in Regina. By lunch, Regina will be at 0 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. -3 over in Saskatoon. Low winds for both cities all afternoon long. By final bell, Regina at that expected daytime high of 1 degree with that cloud cover increasing. And by final bell in Saskatoon, -2. A little bit of sunshine still poking through the clouds there. Again, though, low winds. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices. The common price to wake us up in Regina is $130.9. Lowest you might find $105.9. In Saskatoon, the common price $123.9, and the lowest you might find is $113.9. Over to the farm markets now, where the street price of canola is starting the day at $579.52 per ton, and the futures price at $644.40 per ton. Amber Durham wheat at $285.94 per ton, and red spring wheat at $250.60 per ton. And the Canadian dollar trading up to start the day at 71.92 cents U.S. After the break, recalls issued for a number of Hyundais in Canada. What you should look for if you're driving one. Stay with us.
Saskatchewan, it is just about 7:30. The Prime Minister is returning to Canada this morning after taking big steps toward more trade with India at the G20.
Does your government view India as a reliable trading partner?
In terms of trade, yes, we do, actually. You can be both a reliable trading partner and there will be some sources of friction.
Canada and India have agreed to a comprehensive economic partnership, one the Prime Minister says could double trade to $70 billion. This is a significant thaw in relations between the two countries after allegations of involvement in criminal activity on Canadian soil, an accusation, of course, that India has denied. According to the PMO, Carney has also accepted an invitation to visit early next year. The Prime Minister says he's in no rush, though, to resume trade talks with the U.S. after they were halted over anti-tariff ads.
He accepted the apology when I spoke to him, and we've had discussions. I've been busy. There's another point, though. I've been busy. We passed a budget with that's going to catalyze $1 trillion of investment.
Carney says he and U.S. President Donald Trump have been busy and the talks will resume when appropriate. The Prime Minister says he expects to speak with Trump sometime in the next 2 weeks, but he is ready when Americans are ready to return to the table. Carney made the remarks when talking to reporters in Johannesburg for the G20, which Trump did not attend. There is word this morning that Ottawa and Alberta are just days away from the announcement of a memorandum of understanding on a pipeline to carry Alberta oil to the BC coast.
I would say that we have been negotiating with the feds for a while. I've been very frank about that. And we've been going back and forth almost daily for probably the better part of the last 2 weeks. And I really hope that we will have an agreement ready and available to be released soon.
The proposed pipeline has been creating a considerable tension between Alberta and BC. BC's premier believes the quest for a new pipeline should not proceed before first pumping more crude oil through the existing Trans Mountain pipeline. Hyundai Canada has recalled more than 5,000 vehicles for the risk of a fuel leak causing a fire. The recall is because of a faulty check valve in the purge system. It increased the risk of a fuel leak. Now, the affected vehicles include the 2020 to 23 Sonata. Owners will be notified by mail to have their check valve inspected. Meanwhile, the Kia K5 models between 2021 and 2024 are also being recalled over fuel tank issues. A holiday craft market put on by the Saskatchewan Deaf and Hard of Hearing Services underway at Market Mall yesterday. Baked goods, local honey, hand-sewn gifts, ornaments, all that kind of stuff on display. It's only the second year for the market. They were in Regina last week. Organizers say it's a chance for deaf and hard of hearing creators to share their work.
Just naturally, you kind of pick it up a little bit here and there. Might say like, what's the cost, or thank you, things like that. Merry Christmas. So it's just a good opportunity to meet and interact with the deaf and hard of hearing people.
For me, it's so inspiring to see deaf and hard of hearing and deaf-blind individuals involved with marketing their wares. We also have people who are involved and they're not deaf or hard of hearing, but they are our allies.
The resurgence of Saskatchewan's film industry is creating opportunities for aspiring actors. This weekend, several stars of tomorrow showcased their talents for industry leaders. And Wayne Mantika, our star, was there.
As much as he loves her, was capable of loving anyone.
It was an evening for Saskatchewan actors to be discovered.
Message tonight is anyone can do it. I mean, we have people that have just started out a few months ago. We've had people that have been in the industry for over 15 years.
Actors hoping to land roles in future films performed before an audience that included film producers seeking talent.
Through auditions, you also discover new people, and I know that we had a few people that really surprised me, and I've never heard of this person or seen this person, and then they're perfect for the roles.
The actors have been developing skills through classes and coaching at Regina's Bar S Studios.
There are a ton of talented people here, and people don't need to move to Toronto or Vancouver. They can start a career right here. We always say that a career in Saskatchewan film and television is not just possible, it's probable.
Among those assessing the talent was veteran Regina film producer Kevin DeWalt.
You need good actors to make good movies, and events like this is an opportunity to see the kind of young talent, and hopefully there'll be some stars that come out of it.
The return of government incentives is driving demand for homegrown talent. These actors hope to be among the stars who play a role in rebuilding Saskatchewan's film industry. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Well, drivers in Alberta, Kayleen, digging out this morning after a snowstorm hit parts of that province, and it's moving into ours, as you're telling us, all morning long. Snowplows out this morning, clearing main roads and residential and side roads. Probably the ones to watch out for right now, and this is eventually coming our way.
Yeah, eventually, but today we're really seeing it far down in Saskatchewan. So far south, it's right along that U.S. border. Saskatoon, and Regina, not likely to be seeing those flurries today. Just those areas way down towards the south. I'm going to show you that on our radar in just a moment here. Let's talk about these current conditions right now. Saskatoon, cooler start to the day. We're at -10 in Regina, -4, so not so bad. Both cities seeing a few clouds to wake us up. The sun going to be up by about 8:30 to 8:40 for both cities, and low winds to start the day, and we're also going to be seeing low winds throughout the afternoon as well. Radar and satellite, though, showing where we have that snow warning in effect. So if you are waking up with us in any of those areas lit up in gray, just take care out on those roads today. Make sure that you are bundling up if you have to head out the door. Could be seeing about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow today. Futurecast showing how that is going to move in there. So all those areas lighting up in purple now. We watch it as it's tracking east. Estevan, although you're not technically under that snowfall warning, you are going to be getting some more of those flurries. It's just not going to be in the early afternoon. It's going to be later on in the evening and overnight hours before that system exits the province overnight. Tuesday looking pretty clear from that precipitation. We are just seeing a little bit of a mix of sun and cloud throughout some parts of the province, and then Wednesday more of the same. Today's wind gusts, we just talked about them being low for the morning, and this shows that we're not really going to be seeing those increasing all too much throughout the afternoon as well. Just west down towards the south, right along the border where we're seeing that snow falling. We could see it up to about 30, 35 kilometers per hour. Other than that, though, really low winds throughout the province today. Today's forecast with those temperatures, we're seeing it a little bit cooler through the central zones. Battleford's peaking at -3. Prince Albert sharing that daytime high of -3. Yorkton up to 2 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds. 0 degrees in Swift Current with those flurries. 2 degrees for Weyburn and 3 degrees expected for Estevan. The almanac showing that we are technically above that seasonal average with these temperatures, just not by a whole lot. The average for Regina is -3.2, -4.7 for Saskatoon. And the record back in the year 1997 for Regina, 10.9, 8.9 for Saskatoon back in the year 1962. Enjoy these nicer above the seasonal average temperatures, though, while we still have them, because in the 7-day forecast, we see them dropping by the weekend. -12 for Saturday in Regina, -16 on Sunday with that sunshine. And in Saskatoon, more of the same. We see the temperatures slowly falling until the weekend. Saturday down to -14 and Sunday -15 for Saskatoon.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
Heritage Regina is hosting a special conversation Thursday night at the Artesian. It features former NHL goalie and service member, Lieutenant Colonel retired Ed Stanowski, who's with us this morning. It's called Torch Be Ours, honoring military service. And Ed, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Daryl, it's always a pleasure.
We're touching on a couple of main aspects of your life. You gave a lot of your life to hockey, and you gave a lot of your life to the military. How do you put this together into an hour and deliver it to people that come Thursday night?
Well, from my life story is a very, very small part of what makes up, I would offer, the people of Saskatchewan. You know, my parents immigrated to Saskatchewan after the Second World War and settled here and raised a family after going through a transition camp in England. I'll speak to all of that. And as much as I might touch on Thursday on my life and the things that have happened with regard to living in Regina and being part of the Regina Pats organization, and that's tremendous history there and legacy for the province and the city. It'll be a fair bit about my parents and their story, because it's very, very interesting on what brought them to Saskatchewan and how they settled here and raised a family and certainly gave me a start in what is part of the community. So there's that. I had a chance to go off and serve, as you mentioned, in the Canadian Armed Forces and saw a lot of the world. Probably lived in 20 different cities across North America during my time, where I was actually living in those cities, from Anchorage to St. Louis, from places in Quebec to, you know, the Salt Lake City, Utah type of thing. So anyways, I can share on some of those things, but I've come home to Regina, so here I am.
A lot of people come home, which is incredible. And Remembrance Day is such a key part of what we do in the course of a year, but then those conversations kind of tail off, and then they ramp back up again right around November. So it's important to keep these conversations going.
Absolutely, Daryl. You know, again, November being a month of remembrance, and with Remembrance Day on November 11th, the Heritage Regina, what they did last year and again this year, is they focused on that connection to the city and the things that have been done by members of the city and the rich history that the city has with regard to, you know, service and service members and the Great War and the Second World War, Korea and beyond. So there'll be a chance to expound on those things also on Thursday, and it should be a good evening, and you know, I'll try and keep it light and go from there.
Some of those light stories probably come from your hockey days.
Well, absolutely. There's some great stories of the dressing room. Again, the Pats.
The ones that you can tell.
Yeah, the ones that I can tell. The Pats won the Memorial Cup in '74, and the nucleus of that team in '74 were residents of Regina, players like Billy Bell and Drew Callender and others who grew up and went through minor hockey here in Regina. They're part of that heritage, and now we got the cup, brought it back here. Then it's time to get that cup back here again, by the way.
You lived in all those places. Why come back here?
It's home. It's family, friends, it's community, it's heritage, it's all those things. And I'm just real proud of Saskatchewan and proud of Regina. And I spent a good chunk of my life over just down the road in Moose Jaw. A little bit of a rivalry there now, especially with with the Warriors and the Pats. But no, for me, it's Saskatchewan's home, Regina's home.
Got about 30 seconds left. What do you want people to take away from your conversation on Thursday night?
A little bit about giving back, a little bit about the proud heritage that Regina has, and the great organization, Heritage Regina, who's dedicated to perpetuating and maintaining that heritage that we have here, the culture, the people. So I'm looking forward to it.
You can see and share all those stories Thursday night at the Artesian. You get tickets at the door. Here's what's happening in our community. The Mistletoe Market happens Saturday, November 29th at 11 a.m. at the Westminster United Church, 3025 13th Avenue. Call 306-533-0601. All-you-can-eat pierogies and sausage, Sunday, November 30th, 4:30 p.m. at the Melville Curling Club. Call 306-607-9207. Sports World Collectible Show, Sunday, November 30th, starting at 10 a.m. at the Hungarian Club, 1925 McCarra Street. Sports World at SaskTel.net for more. Regina Little Theater's Miracle performances December 3rd through 6th at the Performing Arts Center, 1077 Angus Street. Christmas Tea and Bake Sale happening Thursday, December 4th at 10 a.m. in Kenora, 229 5th Avenue West. If you'd like your event shown here, email us, reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca, but please do so at least 2 weeks in advance.
It'll be interesting to see what happens on the markets in the coming days with a short week south of the border. American Thanksgiving is on Thursday. There was a ton of volatility last week. Both the TSX and U.S. markets did close higher Friday. The head of the U.S. Federal Reserve says he's looking at another possible rate cut in December. Prime Minister Mark Carney is back in the country after looking for more trade partners. Carney announced Sunday that the federal government and South Africa agreed to launch discussions for an investment protection pact. And Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand says Canada will also get into full negotiations with India for a comprehensive trade deal. And a new survey has found that artificial intelligence will likely become another helper for Santa this holiday season. A survey commissioned by Shopify polled 18,000 consumers and 7,500 business leaders and found that 64% will use AI for at least one shopping task. People aged 18 to 24 years old, a whopping 84% will make use of that technology. Those are your morning business headlines for BNN Bloomberg. I'm Matt Scooby.
Now, let's check back in with Janella Pye, who has moved over to the bison exhibit at this year's Agribition.
That's right. As you can see here with me, I've got some bison, and I even have a nice little vest on. We'll talk more about that coming up. Got Robert with me, who is a local bison producer. Now, Robert, you and I were talking a little bit earlier here. You have a great generational story on how you got into this, so tell me about it.
Yeah, we've been raising, or my wife's family has been raising bison for about 20 years now. They used to raise elk, and then they transitioned from the elk industry into the bison industry. And then my wife and I have been at it for about 18 years here now.
Amazing. And of course, everybody wants to know about this beautiful vest. Tell me a little bit about the products you create.
Yeah, you know, we all of our producers, we try and utilize the whole animal out of it, just trying to maximize all the value that we can. So whether it's your hamburger, your steak, or your roast, lots of producers have found some handy people in their local communities that can tan leather and create hides, jackets, mitts. Some people people spin the wool just like you will with like your traditional sheep yarn, and then make socks and mitts and toques and beanies, and the sky's the limit. We try and use everything that we can out of these animals.
Yes, well, they're fantastic and very warm, might I add. Now, how long have you been coming to the agribition here, and how did you get started with it?
I'm an agribition baby. If we go way back when, like my parents used to show cattle here, and I was born across the street during agribition. So we've been raising bison, like I said, for 18 years. We've been coming to the Canadian National Show and Sale for about the last 5 years here.
Fantastic, Robert. Thank you so much for having us here this morning. Again, a great time down here at the agribition. Make sure you're coming out. Today is kickoff day and free admission.
All right, Janelle, thank you very much. Looking forward to see what you have for us next.
It's November 24th, and we have some birthdays to celebrate. We'll start off with a belated birthday wish going out to Darlene, who celebrated her special day over the weekend. We hope you have a very special year ahead. All the love from your 4 daughters and Granny. More belated birthday wishes going out to Lori, who marked her 65th birthday on the 22nd. We hope you had an amazing day with your family. And happy birthday wishes also going out to Vern for his 65th birthday. Also, we hope this was a great one with lots of love from all of your friends and family. Happy 13th birthday going out to Weston. Welcome to teenagehood. We hope you have an awesome day and an awesome year ahead with love from your friends and family. And finally, a twin birthday to mark today. Happy birthday to Jackson and Ryder on their 10th birthday today. Your family says they love you so much and they hope you have the best day. Enjoy. If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca, or you can simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please remember, send those in at least one day in advance.
First and foremost, you've been gone for a week. Say hi to Grandma in Churchbridge.
Well, I got to say hi like in person, which I like to think is just slightly better over the past week.
less for her to talk about on Coffee Road, though.
Yes, exactly. So back here with you guys, happy for that. It's day 1 of agribition. We're going to be head down there later today, too. Maybe get some Christmas shopping done. I thought I was all finished, thought it was all wrapped up, no pun intended. And then I ruined one of the biggest presents. Delivery came Saturday. I'm hauling this box inside the house, all excited for it. And then my wife sees it and she's like, you know, it's labeled what's on the box. So instantly she knows what she is getting for Christmas. She says she didn't quite see it, but like she found the brand, and they make 3 things, so it's pretty obvious. Might have to do some more shopping. Would love to hear from you today too. We can make each other feel better. Times maybe you have ruined a gift or surprise. You can text over your story to 54321.
All right, Chase, thank you so much.
Thanks, Daryl. See you tomorrow.
Coming for you. Universal's Wicked franchise defying gravity this weekend as it soared into theaters, breaking its own record at the box office, or at least the record that was set by last year's first installment. Wicked for Good opened to $150 million domestically, raking in $226 million globally. It was also the biggest global opening ever for a movie based on a Broadway musical, as well as the biggest global and domestic opening for both of its stars, Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. Eddie Murphy will be honored with a Life Achievement Award next April from the American Film Institute. The 64-year-old has been a force in entertainment for nearly 50 years, starting with his stint on Saturday Night Live, and then a string of box office successes that included the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, Coming to America, and Shrek. He's also won a SAG Award and a Golden Globe for his role in Dreamgirls. Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson walked the red carpet Friday for the London premiere of their new movie Song Sung Blue. Based on the real life of Lightning and Thunder, a Neil Diamond tribute band and married couple, the movie features many of Neil Diamond's greatest songs, including Sweet Caroline.
It's so fun because it brings people together, and I think Neil what an amazing song for him to be able to perform all the time.
And happy birthday, Katherine Heigl. The Emmy Award-winning Grey's Anatomy actress is 47. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Allison Cossack, ABC News.
first and foremost, we're all big Kate Hudson fans. She released an album, and if go listen to it, it's really good. Like, you think, like, actor, it's not going to be, it's really, really good.
Kate Hudson and her mom, Goldie Hawn, they will forever be Hollywood it girls.
Yeah. All right, let's get to what we're supposed to be doing here, which is talking about parents who know the challenge all too well of introducing new foods to their babies, but maybe not for this one.
Want to try some lime? You like it?
Yeah, this is my favorite part of having tiny people. Give them a lemon.
I tried it with Sadie, and she just didn't care.
No?
No, it wasn't a reaction either way. She was like, okay, what's next?
Oh, just the other day, Mateo grabbed some of I had some hot sauce on my plate. He thought it was barbecue sauce, and wow.
Ooh.
That was a good one.
Yikes. Oh,
that was a good, there was a face and a running, and there was...
But now you have the perfect excuse. If you ever want some of your food that you don't want to share, you can say, it's spicy.
It's too hot.
It's spicy. You won't like it.
It's too hot. I want a dog celebrating their birthday in style. Jeremy, this is your favorite because this dog is being pampered and dressed up.
And hates every minute.
Every minute. But it is for his 9th birthday, and he's working with people. He is deaf, this dog, but he's doing some support work. So there's a rainbow at the end of this horrible costume tunnel. We're back after this. Hello, it's Monday, November 24th.
We've managed to keep extremely sensitive points on the table, including the full release of all Ukrainian prisoners of war.
Peace plan is in the works to end the war in Ukraine.
Canada has quite an actual strong commercial relationship with India.
The Prime Minister leaves the G20 with a potential new trade partner in India. And the Montreal Caravans are Vanier Cup champions. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Every time I watch that animation, I think, who on a Monday morning has time to make pancakes?
I can't eat pancakes today. I'm on a fast. We can't talk about the pancakes.
We're not talking about food. That's actually a show rule. We're welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Monday.
And you are very snowy if you're in the southwest near the border.
Yes. Yeah. We are under a snowfall warning this morning right along that U.S. border there. Could be getting 10 to 15 centimeters of snow.
Calgary, they're slipping through intersections, the whole deal. Let's get to news. We'll get back to the weather in just a minute. We start with the high-stakes talks between the U.S. and Ukraine over a peace deal with Russia. Ukraine has been facing renewed pressure from the U.S. president amid concerns that a plan on the table has made too many concessions to Moscow. Ian Pannell reports.
Overnight, multiple Russian drone strikes pummeling Kharkiv, just hours after Ukraine hit a Russian power plant, seen in videos circulating online. But as Ukraine and Russia trade blows, there could be signs of hope as the US and Ukraine meet in Switzerland to push for an end to the war.
I feel very optimistic that we can get something done here because we made a tremendous amount of progress today.
The high-stakes meeting hastily organized after President Trump pressured Ukraine to accept a 28-point peace plan that would have handed over even more Ukrainian land to Russia and slashed its military. Trump initially demanding a response before Thanksgiving, but that deadline appears to be pushed back after U.S. negotiators hailed great progress in narrowing differences with the Ukrainians.
Whether it's Thursday, whether it's Friday, whether it's Wednesday, whether it's Monday of the following week, we want it to be soon because people are going to, between today and the time we deal with this, more people are going to die.
That initial plan sending shockwaves across Ukraine, Europe, and on Capitol Hill, with some saying Ukraine shouldn't sign without more ironclad security guarantees.
For without that, I would not advise Ukraine to sign this.
Now, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky saying there are signals President Trump's team is hearing us.
Right now, we are at a critical moment, and we are working closely with the United States, with European partners, with many, many others to define steps that can end Russia's war against us, against Ukraine, and bring real security.
As talks continue in Geneva, the stakes couldn't be higher. Russia's large-scale invasion began almost 4 years ago. The Kremlin's troops occupying 1/5 of Ukraine and are advancing. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers and civilians have been killed. US negotiators say that deal, which would seemingly reward Russia for invading a sovereign nation, is now evolving.
Just because it's printed on a piece of paper doesn't indicate finality.
Well, the Kremlin is saying today that they haven't received any specific information or plans, but they have read the statements following the discussions in Geneva. Of course, it's something that both the Kremlin and Kyiv are tracking closely. But I think it's worth adding that the gulf between the two sides, the sticking points, if you like, are no less than they were 4 years ago. Ian Pannell, ABC News in Ukraine.
Western Canada's largest livestock show gets underway today. Canadian Western Agribition returns to the Real District. Here's some video of the preparations happened yesterday. The burning of the brand will happen a little later on this morning. The show is anchored by beef cattle and features an array of livestock along with the latest equipment. Delegates gathered in Saskatoon this weekend for the Métis Nation Fall Legislative Assembly. We turn things over this morning to Jeremy Dodge.
Good morning, Daryl. It was on Saturday, and the morning started with a grand entry at Prairieland Park. Followed by President Glenn McCallum's State of the Nation address. He highlighted major progress in housing, early learning, health supports, and economic growth, reinforced by a new independent report recently released. He's encouraged to see membership in the organization balloon to nearly 40,000 compared to only 2,000 when he took over in 2017. President McCallum says these are promising times for Métis Nation.
That we are successful. We have businesses, we have programs, and with reconciliation, it's in the hands of the feds in the province to be able to give the right capacity, but it's on our shoulders to be able to do the job that needs to be done.
McCallum stresses that in the coming years, Métis Nation will continue to emphasize getting young people involved so they can keep building towards the future. A special pre-Christmas celebration hit the streets Saturday with Rocking Around Riversdale. Local artists, businesses, and residents came together for a day of live entertainment and street-side celebration.
Merry Christmas! Ho, 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 ho! Thanks for coming by, everyone! Ho, ho, ho!
Crowds filled 20th Street and surrounding area Saturday with families taking in the festivities, including Santa and characters from Frozen. Organizers say the event's all about showcasing the diversity and creativity that make up this historic area while supporting small businesses as the holiday season ramps up.
The community gave me back a huge resounding yes, and so they're just starving for this kind of action. And so, yeah, people have been wanting to donate, participate. That's why we've got so many businesses and artists involved, and we're really excited to kind of be bringing in the retail aspect as well as like local businesses, kind of all of that community as well as art, all in one day, and like everyone.
Organizers calling it one of the biggest festivals yet. All right, Daryl, recall for Hyundai drivers this morning.
Yeah, more than 5,000 vehicles. It's for a risk of a fuel leak causing a fire. The recall is because of a faulty check valve in the purge system. It's increased the risk of a fuel leak. Now, the affected vehicles are the 2020 to 2023 Sonata. You'll be notified by mail to have that check valve inspected. Meanwhile, the Kia K5 models between 21 and 24 also being recalled, those over fuel tank issues. Lobster boats across southwest Nova Scotia will hit the waters today for dumping day.
It's just a big rush. Everybody wants to get to the same spot, so you just try not to bump into anybody and hope for the best.
It's the official start for the season of lobster fishing. By the time this season wraps up in May, roughly 50 million pounds of live lobster will come ashore. It's a massive haul and a major economic driver for Nova Scotia, but tariffs are reshaping the season before it even begins. The U.S. has been threatening tariffs, while China has already imposed 25% on Canadian seafood exports. The resurgence of Saskatchewan's film industry is creating opportunities for aspiring actors, and this weekend, several stars of tomorrow showcased their talents for the industry leaders. Here's Wayne Mantica.
As much as you love her, was capable of loving anyone.
It was an evening for Saskatchewan actors to be discovered.
Message tonight is anyone can do it. I mean, we have people that have just started out a few months ago. We've had people that have been in the industry for over 15 years.
Actors hoping to land roles in future films performed before an audience that included film producers seeking talent.
Through auditions, you also discover new people, and I know that we had a few people that really surprised me, and I've never heard of this person or seen this person, and then they're perfect for the roles.
The actors have been developing skills through classes and coaching at Regina's Bar S Studios.
There are a ton of talented people here, and people don't need to move to Toronto or Vancouver. They can start a career right here. We always say that a career in Saskatchewan film and television is not just possible, it's probable.
Among those assessing the talent was veteran Regina film producer Kevin DeWalt.
You need good actors to make good movies, and events like this is an opportunity to see the kind of young talent, and hopefully there'll be some stars that come out of it.
The return of government incentives is driving demand for homegrown talent. These actors hope to be among the stars who play a role in rebuilding Saskatchewan's film industry. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
All right, talk snow to me.
All right, well, down towards the south today, right along that U.S. border, we are going to be seeing that snow falling. We actually are technically under that snowfall warning this morning. Could be seeing about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. Now, not really seeing it in other areas in the province, though. I'm going to show you that on the Futurecast in just a moment here. But let's turn our attention now to these current conditions. In Regina, waking up to -4 still. We've really been stuck there for the past 2 hours or so now. A few clouds in the sky. Those clouds have been increasing down towards the south, and some very calm winds to wake us up. -10 still in Saskatoon. Again, still seeing some of those clouds and winds currently coming in at 11 kilometers per hour. Not really going to be seeing those winds increasing all too much throughout the afternoon hours for many places in the province, except for that area that is shaded down in the corner of the province there in the southwest, where we're going to be seeing that snow coming in. We're also going to be seeing winds increasing ever so slightly up to about 35 kilometers per hour. Now, that snowfall warning is in effect. You do see that orange bar on your screen saying winter storm watch. That is not currently under effect. But throughout the afternoon hours, we will be seeing this system making its way in from Alberta. Again, Alberta got hit overnight with some of that snow, and now it's our turn, but again, just down towards the south today. Estevan, technically not seeing it in the afternoon, but we are going to be seeing that snow falling into the later parts of the evening, so be prepared for it. Nevertheless, again, about 10 to 15 centimeters of snow on the way. Now, for other areas in the province, just a mix of sun and cloud today, and going to be seeing that continue on into tomorrow and Wednesday as well. Let's turn our attention to these current temperatures now, where we're waking up to a temperature of -10 in Buffalo Narrows, -11 for Prince Albert right now, -7 in Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, -3 in East End, -2 in Swift Current, -5 to wake us up in Weyburn, and -3 over in Estevan. Later on this afternoon, we're still continuing that trend that we saw last week, where we're seeing those warmer temperatures down towards the south. But throughout the central zones, Battleford's reaching -3, -3 for Prince Albert as well, 2 degrees for Yorkton, 2 degrees for Weyburn, and 3 degrees expected for Estevan with those late afternoon and early evening flurries. Now, 7-day forecast showing that temperatures right now are above the seasonal average, but as we make our way towards the weekend, it's going to be cooling off quite a bit. By Saturday in Regina, -12, -16 on Sunday. Wind chill could be making it feel even colder. Saskatoon, again, seeing that trending down towards the weekend. Saturday, -14, and Sunday, a little bit cooler, -15.
On this day in 2005, the Canadian government signed a $2.5 million deal to compensate Chinese Canadians for the head tax imposed on Chinese immigrants. November 24th, 2017, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau formally apologized to residential school survivors in Newfoundland and Labrador. And November 24th, 1963, Lee Harvey Oswald was killed by Jack Ruby.
A holiday craft market put on by Saskatchewan Deaf and Hard of Hearing Services went over the weekend at Market Mall. Baked goods, local honey, hand-sewn gifts, ornaments, jewelry, just some of what filled the tables. This is the second year for the market, and after a stop in Regina last week, organizers say it's a chance for deaf and hard of hearing creators to share their work and to connect with the community. Lots of great items.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. I love the blankets with the
signs on them.
Right in them.
That's a great idea.
Incredible stuff. Question of the day is getting some response finally.
Yeah, but just a few more. Just a few more. We asked you today, what is a TV show that you would reboot if you could? A shocker of all shockers today, no one else said Pan Am.
No one else said Pan Am.
I cannot believe it.
You may have been the only one that watched that show.
Me and my mom. I actually own it on DVD too.
Shout out to Michaela.
Good for you.
We had Ryan and Lena write in saying we think the Dukes of Hazzard should get a reboot.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hey,
do you agree with that one, Jeremy?
That idea. Yeah, I'm all about the Duke boys.
Oh, yeah. Jeremy be hood sliding like Bo Duke.
Yeah.
Sure.
Another one that came in to our text line saying Flintstones or Knight Rider. Which I'm not surprised by, considering last week we asked for favorite cartoon character, and the Flintstones getting a lot of love last week. So we're just continuing that trend into this week. And Michelle also saying Corner Gas, which was getting a lot of love earlier on this morning. If I go to this next slide here, you can see Corner Gas, love that show. That came in from Bob on our text line earlier on this morning. Some more love for I Love Lucy, and of course some more love for The Nanny. So thank you so much for answering today's question of the day.
Can we talk?
This morning, actor and rapper Donald Glover is opening up about a major health scare, revealing he suffered a stroke while on tour last year.
I had a really bad pain in my head in Louisiana, and I did the show anyway. I couldn't really see well. So when we went to Houston, I went to the hospital, and the doctor was like, you had a stroke.
Over the weekend, the Grammy and Emmy-winning artist telling fans that doctors made a concerning discovery.
And they found a hole in my heart, so I had this surgery.
Approximately 10% of all strokes occur in individuals between the ages of 18 and 50.
Especially in younger folks, you start to think about, is there an issue with the structure of the heart that's causing an abnormal communication between the right and the left side of the heart?
Glover, who performs under the stage name Childish Gambino,
This is America.
and starred in the cult favorite Community.
She calls bagels bagels.
Reminding fans not to take life for granted.
As my wife says, which I love, she's like, if this life is a flavor, as soon as I'm done, give me another scoop.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Let's bring back in Mike Siona, who's talking safety this morning. Good morning, Mike.
Oh, we've been spending the morning here at Parkland Ambulance in Prince Albert with Lyle Karasik talking about a different safety and how to kind of take care of emergent situations in your home as the holidays are arriving. We've got our newest friend here. We're calling him Junior affectionately, and we're talking about choking. So what do we do if we encounter choking?
Well, whether it's a toddler like this, Mike, or it's an adult, we want to make sure we do a combination of back blows, chest thrusts, or abdominal thrusts. And a good point that we have is that we've got Junior standing on a table. And if this happens at home, don't run and grab Junior and stand him up on the table, the kitchen counter. Because if the little one goes unconscious, now you've got 80 or 100 pounds worth of kid headed for the floor that you might not be able to catch. So put this little Junior on your knee, set them on the floor, and you squat down. So for today, we're going to have Junior on the table because it works better for our shot.
For television purpose.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got Junior safely on the floor. What do we do?
Well, we can come up behind them if they're an adult or junior, and we want to lean them forward, Mike, and give back blows. So it's just simply 5 good back blows. And that, in most cases, will dislodge the Brussels sprout, the turkey piece, whatever else is stuck there. If that doesn't work, we want to find find where the belly button is, make a fist, fold one hand in, and just do some abdominal thrusts. And it's going to be just that simple. If they go unconscious, Mike, we want to remind folks, then call for help. Get 911, get some other people helping you, because you now have a very serious emergency.
Okay, so there you go. It's as simple as a back blow, and most of the time that's going to take care of the issue for us. At that point, if we lose consciousness, and I know I'm just repeating what you said, but that's how it clicks in my mind, at that point we would then call 911.
Absolutely, and we want to remind folks, these are easy, simple steps that you can learn. There's lots of self-help sort of thing videos, but we also want to encourage folks, if you want, take a class, give us a call, and we're happy to help.
No doubt about it. Well, thanks, Lyle. It's been a very wonderful morning out here in Prince Albert at Parkland Ambulance.
Our league, our country, a photographic tribute to Canadian football and its people is a book about the CFL, and it's by Johanny Jutras, and she joins me now. Good morning. Where are we reaching you from?
We are in Drummondville, Quebec.
All right. Well, this book is phenomenal for any fan of the Canadian Football League, and we've been enjoying it for several years now. I guess let's talk about it. It's a celebration of the league, right? Tell me, it's got a really interesting story about how you put this thing together.
Yeah, the story very interesting for sure. It's a book about what the CFL is, but to me, it's a lot about the fans. And to me, this is what the CFL is. It's about its people. So, I traveled the country, sold everything I had, got in my car, went from Montreal to Vancouver and back. And I spent like about 3 weeks to up to a month in each CFL city. And there's this book.
There it is. It's beautiful. And you had access to everything, right? What did you get to see that most fans usually don't get to?
I was welcomed by each team as if I was part of the team. So I got to see the installation, the locker rooms, the practice, the meetings. It was like an all access that I got. And this is what I translated in the book through photography.
Okay. So this was 10 years ago. Which season was this that this happened in?
The book published in 2015, so it was the 2014 season, I think.
All right. And
the 2015, maybe. I'm not sure. I think 2015.
Well, it's back now, right? A special 10th anniversary package, all right? Tell us about that.
Yes, it's back, but it's not really back. It's the last copies. So I self-published this book, so there won't be more copies. We won't go in a reprint. So those are the last 500 copies. And it's a new cover it's special about the 10th anniversary. And also what makes it special is that each copy is signed and numbered. So if you want your copy, those are going to be the last remaining. It's a collectible item.
It certainly is.
It will be a piece of history, I think. It tells you what the CFL is. I think in 30, 40, 50 years, it'll still be relevant because the CFL is what it is.
It is. And like you said, it is about the people. And that has remained the same for so many years now. Things have modernized a bit, though. Do you sense that there is a change? We've got these new rules coming in over the next couple of years that is going to change the game a little bit. You feel that the CFL has that staying power to keep it going?
Honestly, I'm a photographer, so I don't know if I have an opinion on that.
Okay.
I think the core of the league is the fans. And I think if the league can take care of its fans and make sure they're happy, I think, yeah, for sure.
All right. Thank you so much. Congratulations on 10 years of celebrating this book and this league. And thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to your morning, Saskatchewan. Just about 8:30 on your Monday. Prime Minister Mark Carney returning to Canada this morning after taking big steps toward more trade with India at the G20.
Does your government view India as a reliable trading partner?
In terms of trade, yes, we do, actually. You can be both a reliable trading partner and there will be some sources of friction.
Canada and India have agreed to a comprehensive economic partnership, one the Prime Minister says could double trade to $70 billion. This is a significant thaw in relations between the two countries after allegations of involvement in criminal activity on Canadian soil, an accusation India denies. The Prime Minister's office says he's also accepted an invitation to India early next year. The Prime Minister says he's in no rush to resume U.S. trade talks.
He accepted the apology when I spoke to him, and we've had discussions. I've been busy. There's another point, though. I've been busy. We passed a budget with that's going to catalyze $1 trillion of investment.
Carney says he and U.S. President Donald Trump have been busy, but talks will resume when appropriate. The Prime Minister says he expects to speak with Trump sometime in the next 2 weeks, but is ready when Americans want to return to the table. Conservation officers in BC are boosting their efforts to track down a mother bear and 2 cubs just days after a group of elementary school students were attacked.
The teacher that was helped the kids, he was so brave, he jumped on top of the bear and fought it with his bare hands.
Traps, snares, and trail cameras are set up around the Bolakula area, about 420 kilometers north of Vancouver, after that attack happened Thursday. 3 students and a teacher were taken to hospital after a bear attacked a group of about 20, including grade 4 and 5 students. A new development at U.S. airports. They are now testing digital IDs. Here's Becky Worley with how it works and the concerns behind it.
Welcome to the digital skies. Apple and Android phones now allowing users to create a digital ID on their phones that serves as a real ID and can be used going through TSA checkpoints at more than 250 airports in the United States.
Adding your passport information to your phone by creating a digital ID takes just a few minutes. You start by opening up the Wallet app. Then you're going to hit the plus button, which adds a new card or ID.
The Wallet app then goes through a series of authentication steps to make sure it's really you. And
ta-da! It's shown up in my Apple Wallet.
This will work as a real ID at TSA. But it's important to note you can't travel internationally with it.
Hi.
Do you have your ID ready?
I do.
I try it at San Francisco International Airport.
And then you have to accept something on your phone?
Okay. It tells me what information's being presented to you. My name, my date of birth. Okay, double click to confirm. Face ID.
Face the camera for me, please. Thank you. You're all set.
All right. Thank you.
On both the Apple and Android operating systems, they say that all this info is encrypted on the phone and that companies can never see where you've used it or the data that's shared. And if you want even more convenience, you could put it on your watch.
That worked.
Making travel a little less stressful for those that want to streamline their digital lives. Becky Worley, ABC News, New York.
I like hard plastic things. I don't know if I want to do that. Let's get to a fun story. The Nat Geo Pictures of the Year, the December issue, highlighting 25 images chosen by editors in National Geographic as the most poignant and stirring photographs of 2025. Here's George Stephanopoulos with that.
A great white photographed underwater right off of Maine. A sunflower chimney bee resting after a day of pollinating. And the miracle of life. These are some of National Geographic's 2025 Pictures of the Year.
We want arresting visual images, things that really, stop you in your tracks and make you pay attention.
The team poured through 1 million photos for the best 25. In Argentina, after a once vibrant trade route collapsed, 2 brothers had to pivot.
He and his brother are using their horses to take people on educational horseback riding tours, so inventing a new kind of tourism activity that brings them a livelihood in place of what they were doing before, but very true to their cultural traditions.
A remarkable portrait from Botswana.
Stephen is an incredible photographer who's best known for what are called his day-to-night pictures. And he takes up to 1,500 photographs over the course of an 18 to 36-hour period.
Each image captures a snapshot in time across our planet, documenting our connection to the animal world and nature's breathtaking beauty.
This was actually just recently discovered. It's an annual migration of 6 million antelope in South Sudan that most people have never seen, or it is in fact the largest animal migration on the planet. We always really want to transport our readers. We want to make them feel like they're in the scene. They're maybe seeing something they've never seen before or never thought, existed. And I think one of the things that I really felt this year looking at these pictures that I hope people come away with is a feeling of hope and optimism.
Speaking of stunning images, this is the Kilauea volcano that is sending streams of molten lava. The U.S. Geological Survey is expecting another big eruption in the coming days. Kilauea is one of the world's most active volcanoes and has been erupting for almost a year now. Keep watching that, bringing updates as they come. And there is a tradition that's been growing for nearly 3 decades.
I think it's wonderful, right? I mean, it's good to see the guys when they come over. We all have a good laugh.
The communities of Shelburne, Nova Scotia, and Gloucester, Massachusetts have deep roots thanks to their maritime fishing industry. To mark the connection, Nova Scotia sent the gift of a Christmas tree back in 1998. Now that tradition's been going ever since. This is a large spruce donated by the Doan family. Despite the ongoing trade tension between the U.S. and Canada, people in the community say it's about the spirit of Christmas. The tree lighting will happen on Sunday in Gloucester. And it feels like Christmas along the U.S. border.
Yeah, you know what? As somebody that likes the snow, I wish we were seeing it in other parts of the province today, but unfortunately, we're really only seeing that way down along that U.S. border there, as Daryl just mentioned. Temperatures, though, cooler to start the day, -4 still in Regina all morning long. We've been trying to update you with current temperatures, but they've just been stuck. Not really seeing too much in terms of that wind this morning either, and clouds have been fluctuating a little bit this morning, just waking up to a few of those up in the sky in Saskatoon as we wake up to that temperature of -10. Let's take a look at this radar and satellite, though, because we just talked about the snow that's on the way, and there is a snow warning in effect. So areas even farther south than Swift Current there. So Coronach, you could be seeing some of that east end, seeing some of those flurries today. Estevan, you're not officially under that snowfall warning, but you are going to be seeing some flurries. It's just going to be later on into the evening hours. Now let's take a look at how this actually moves in. So it is seemingly tracking down towards the south, and then it's going to be heading towards the east as we make our way into those evening hours. Estevan going to be seeing the last little piece of that system before it fully tracks south into the United States, and that's again going to be late into the evening hours. Estevan for the afternoon, though, could be seeing just that cloud cover. Now as we head into Tuesday, the afternoon looking like we're going to be clear from the precipitation, just seeing again a mix of sun and clouds throughout the afternoon, and that's going to continue on into Wednesday as well. Current temperatures now, we're still waking up to -10 for Buffalo Narrows, -11 in Prince Albert, and -7 for Melfort and Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, East End at -3 right now, -5 in Weyburn, -3 in Estevan, and -5 in Yorkton. Later on this afternoon, still continuing that trend that we saw last week, where we're seeing the warmer temperatures down towards the south, just not by a whole lot. Battleford's at -2 this afternoon, Prince Albert at -2 as well. Yorkton a little bit warmer into those positive temperatures. 2 degrees for Weyburn, and 3 degrees for Estevan. Again, you're seeing that cloud icon on your screen, but Estevan likely going to be seeing some flurries just into the later parts of the evening. Now let's take a look at this 7-day forecast. Not seeing a whole lot for snow, but we are going to be talking about that as we move into some evening hours. Just the afternoons, we're going to be seeing some sunshine for the 7-day forecast here, and temperatures going down as we look towards the weekend. Saturday down to -12, and Sunday down to -16. Could be feeling more in those -20s degree range. In Saskatoon, more of the same. We're seeing temperatures today at -2, -4 tomorrow, and then -8 on Wednesday. And then towards the weekend, we see those going down, -14 on Saturday and -15 on Sunday.
Christmas Kisses. spices, some festive seasonings from Serena Ryder, who is coming to Saskatchewan to spread Christmas cheer with us very soon. And she joins me live this morning in studio. Serena Ryder, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And, you know, we had our Santa Claus parade here just the other day. Thanksgiving's done and everything. We are ready to get fully into the Christmas spirit. What does Christmas mean to you?
I mean, it's meant a lot of things over the years. I feel like it can be one of the most difficult times for a lot of people for a lot of reasons, but it can also be one of the most celebrated and amazing times of the year. And I've kind of found a lot of healing through being able to sing together. I feel like being in a room and singing with community can really change up the energy this time of year. And I have put together a really awesome band for this tour of my favorite players, and we get to celebrate in a big room and sing songs that we all know together. So I'm really looking forward to it because I feel like music, and I've always felt this, is, you know, the thing that can bring so much change and healing to the world, which is awesome. I also have bringing a charity partnership with this Christmas tour as well. Water First is the name of the charity, and they are invited into Indigenous communities to help with water filtration and clean water within Indigenous communities. There's still over 18% of Indigenous communities don't have clean water. And so this time of year, I feel like can be an opportunity for a lot of people to make some well-needed change in the world as well. So my audience will be able to donate to Water First as well, which is going to be a really great opportunity to make a difference. And I'm also going to be playing songs like What I Wouldn't Do and Stompa, and songs that people will know in the crowd, which will be really great. And then a lot of Christmas classics as well. And I'm going to be going out and signing albums after every show, so I'll get the opportunity to meet everybody that comes, which is going to be so great. And my dog Cholula will also be there, and she won't have a cone by then. She got her eye scratched, but she's going to be fine by then.
Okay, well, we were hoping for a Christmas miracle for the puppers as well. Saskatoon, TCU Place, December 1st, Casino Regina, December 3rd. So you're hoping to kind of just raise spirits, right? And create that community that you mentioned about with this Merry Myths tour?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's the whole purpose of it. I feel like being able to sing, you know, classic Christmas songs together in a room is just so heartwarming and such a beautiful thing to be doing at this time of year, you know, being in a room. And I feel like experiences are the things that we take with us more than gifts and presents that, you know, just wear off really fast and aren't the greatest thing for our souls, neither the environment, you know. So it's nice to be able to change just the energy and your mood with being in a room and singing with people, and being able to make a difference, like I said, with Water First, who's going to be a partner. So I'm really excited to get into a room and sing with everybody.
Okay, this sounds fantastic. Kick that Christmas spirit kicked off on a great note with some great music, great people, and you can help a good cause out as well. Serena Ryder, the Merry Myths Tour, December 1st, Saskatoon, December 3rd in Regina, and tickets are going fast. Serena, thank you so much, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
But it keep coming back like a revolving door. Said I don't want you less, but I just want you more. So it keep coming back. The way you got me all in my head. Think I'd rather you in my bed.
Let's head back over to Janelle Lapie for an overview of a few events scheduled at Regina's 54th Annual Agribition.
Good morning. I've made my way down to the Brandt Center here for this year's Agribition, and I've got Eugenia with me here, who is the newsroom director. Now, Eugenia, there's tons of stuff going on right here in the Brandt Center. Tell me a little bit about them.
Sure thing. So as you mentioned, we do have a ton of stuff going on this week at the Brandt Center. At Agribition this week, we have over 130 events. So here we have the chore team competition getting ready to gear up this morning. We'll also have the horse pulls going on today and tomorrow as well. Throughout the week, we'll also have some of the stock dogs joining us, so that's always a lot of fun to see. We've got the sheep, the cattle, and of course the star of the show, which is the dogs. As for paid performances, we also have our Agribition's Family Night at the Chutes, which is happening Tuesday evening, and so that's really geared towards families coming out, having a great time, having a more interactive program, and it's brand new for this year and comes at a little bit more of an accessible price point for families. So we're really excited to introduce that new offering for this year. And then of course we have our Maple Leaf Circuit Finals Rodeo going on from Wednesday to Saturday night. I will highlight that the performances on Saturday are sold out. Friday is almost sold out. So if you want to secure your tickets, I would recommend looking in for Friday or Thursday. And of course we have our free rodeo night, which is Wednesday. But I would encourage folks to come on down earlier on because it does get really busy. And as for events going on in the Brandt Center during the daytime later this week, we do have our Ranch Rodeo, which is now over 2 days, over Friday and Saturday, and that just really highlights some of our regular ranch events going on, like a typical day in the life of a cowboy, which is really exciting to see. So there's stuff going on every single day here at the Brandt Center, so no matter what time you come, there should be lots of exciting programming.
Well, this sounds like a ton of fun. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning. That does wrap things up. Tons of hard work going into this year's Agribition. Make sure you're coming on down, checking it out.
It was a wicked good weekend at the box office.
It's the Wicked Witch!
Wicked for Good delivered a magical opening weekend. Studio estimates say the new movie earned $150 million US during its first days in North American theaters and $226 million globally. The conclusion to the tale is now the biggest opening ever for a Broadway musical adaptation.
Welcome, Panem, to the glorious reaping of District 12.
And this is the trailer for Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. It explores Panem 24 years before Katniss. The trailer gives fans a glimpse into the origin of Haymitch, a character that was previously played by Woody Harrelson. Elle Fanning, Kieran Culkin, and Glenn Close are just some of the big stars appearing in this movie. It's out next November.
This is Emily in Paris, Season 5.
Let's go. And Emily is leaving the City of Love. Lily Collins, along with her castmates and crew, give a behind-the-scenes glimpse into Season 5 of Emily in Paris. But this time, it's set in Venice. The show's costume designer says fans can expect more glamorous Italian fashion. The show returns December 18th. The morning show may have wrapped, but Reese Witherspoon shared some behind-the-scenes footage for fans. We get a tour of the set, including the control room and the studio, complete with fake pizza boxes. The good news is the show has been renewed for a 5th season. There's no release date just yet. Tate McRae dropped the deluxe edition of her latest studio album, So Close to What. It has 4 new songs, including the one you're hearing, now called Nobody's Girl. McRae said she wrote so much poetry while on tour in Europe this year that she wanted to share a couple new tracks. That's all for today's Entertainment Report.
A big week for youth sports, especially in men's football, where the national championship, the Vanier Cup, was held at Mosaic Stadium. Damian Smith has the details.
6 days after the Riders beat the Alouettes for the Grey Cup, Saskatchewan and Montreal battled on the football field yet again in the National University Championship, the Vanier Cup. This time, Montreal came out on top with a 30-16 victory. a tough loss for the U of S Huskies, who have lost this game 3 times in the last 5 years.
It's meant a lot, the program. I know it's hard to put into words right now. It's crazy, but I love the program, love the guys. I'm happy I got to spend my 5 years here with them.
But this game wasn't just about winning the school's first Vanier Cup in decades. It was about winning it for quarterback Anton Amendrud, who left the team mid-season after being diagnosed with lymphoma.
We wanted nothing more than to bring that trophy back to that guy. Unfortunately, we're gonna be coming empty-handed, but we're bringing a lot of love to him.
Everyone loves him so much. What he's going through is sad, but he's a battler just like all of us too. So he's going to get through whatever he's going through. And without him, we wouldn't be in the spot.
For Montreal, the trip out west was worth it, led by Rookie of the Year quarterback Pepe Gonzalez, who threw for 3 touchdowns.
It's amazing. It's amazing to be rewarded for the hard work we put in the whole season. We had rainy days, we had snowing days, but the guys showed up to every practice and they give it 100% their best, and that showed today.
The game was a 1-possession game until Gonzalez hit Simon LaRose for a touchdown in the 4th quarter.
Took the time out of the clock, and then when we was in an obvious situation of running, we decided to play action. I did a great route. Pepe threw me a great ball. I was hoping it all worked out, man. After my touchdown, I knew that was like the dagger.
This is the 2nd title in 3 years for Montreal, and the past 4 years have been titles won by teams in Quebec, with Laval being the other one winning in 2022 and 2024. Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
How would you feel if advertisers tried to win you over with a smell? Well, the New York City subway is trying this out, and reporters asked New Yorkers how they feel about having their nostrils involuntarily invaded.
We are at Grand Central, but we're going down to its subway station where apparently it smells like fresh forest air. For the rest of November, Grand Central subway station is trying out something new, unleashing a smellable advertisement. When you get off the subway, now you are hit with a holiday scent from Bath & Body Works called Fresh Balsam, which may give you the aroma of vanilla and pine. It's coming through those boxy diffusers, and through the end of the month, Bath & Body Works says it will disperse between 20 and 30 pounds of fragrance. What do we smell? Smelling a slightly fresher New York subway. Okay. But what does the often opinionated New York population think about changing the smell of their daily commute? What does it usually smell like? I don't think I'm allowed to say that on ABC. Do it. We'll bleep it anyway. Like Okay, that was a little too far.
Many seem to be in favor of these contraptions, especially when compared to the usual fragrance emitters that can frequent the subway stations.
What do subway stations usually smell like? Eye roll. They smell like an eye roll.
Others, though, were not in favor of being forced to smell something mysterious. But really, as you would expect in New York City, everyone kind of had a different opinion.
I love the Victoria's Secret Bobs. Whoa, okay. Like foods. I was thinking cookie, but I think it's foods. So somewhere between cookie and Victoria's Secret.
The Metropolitan Transportation Authority says that while this is the first time they've done something like this, they did test it out in Queens and Brooklyn last year to get feedback. Well, my feedback? Not bad. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Producer Nathan, as soon as the story started, says, so instead of cleaning up our city, we're just going to mask it with 30 pounds of...
Yeah.
Whatever works.
It works. It works. With Christmas right around the corner, mistletoe magic returned for a third year at the RCMP Heritage Center. You were over there yesterday, Caitlin.
I was. It was a lovely event.
Let's get to that right now in our sidebar. You met Santa and Mrs. Claus?
I did. I met them. They were absolutely lovely. I put my daughter on Santa's lap, and then Mrs. Claus was like, no, we need a family photo, family photos. So me and my Sunday best with no makeup and sweatpants got in there.
Yeah. I have a similar one over at Cabela's. They had Santa. You said, you got to take your kids. I'm wearing sweatpants and a
The hit was really the old Grinch, and I'm not talking about the one before the more recent one with Jim Carrey. I'm talking about the old one, cartoon, and the kids were loving it.
The little big screen. That's a good place. Anytime somebody comes to Regina, I say, you got to go to the Heritage Center.
Yeah.
It's just nice touch.
That's a good one.
Jeremy, you love comic books. What about this?
Oh, this Superman comic book that has now become the most expensive in the world. It's Superman #1, and it made history, selling for $9.12 million. This thing was actually discovered, hidden away in an attic in California. So they got it authenticated and graded, which is CGC9, which is real good, I guess. It's the highest grading for the issue, and the price, wow. The humidity must have been perfect in that box in the attic to keep it in such good shape.
Yeah. Never thought of that. Yeah, the packaging just good enough.
So my question is, though, so now you've spent $9 million on this. What do you do with it now? You just keep it and look at it for $9 million?
I have to think you want to try to read it once, right? Like with some gloves or something like that.
You can't open that. You can't touch it.
Yeah.
No
really?
way.
You can't even open it just to... Oh.
But...
I don't know.
What do you do with it? I guess I just don't get it.
If you have $9 million,
it's like a piece of
you don't
art,
have a lot of problems,
right?
Yeah, that's
you don't have a lot of problems. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one likes going to the groomer, and this pup has a clever way to avoid those big bad clippers.
My baby, my baby.
I hope the dog's name is Shakira. Enjoy your snowy start. If the snow's falling around you, send us some pictures. Your Morning Saskatchewan at CTV.ca.